All right, I think we're rolling here. It's a little rush for you. Neil Peart just passed away, so I've been listening to some Rush here. Well, hey guys, it's been a while since I've posted a video. I've been pretty busy. I moved. We'll see how the internet is with trying to upload this video. I might not even be able to do it here. I might have to do it at work. Moved out into the sticks a little bit. But here I decided, hey, let's throw something out. It's a pretty crappy day here in Indiana. I think we've received like 3 inches of rain. If it were snow, it'd probably end up being about 3 foot. So it's probably a good thing it's rain. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to leave my house with the driveway. But here in front of us, we've got Kernstown. So this is or I guess it is the newest addition to the blind sword system from Revolution Games. I've played Thunder in the Ozarks a couple times previously, solo. Played it once opposed. It's fun, I like it. Blind Swords is a neat system. It doesn't replace Line of Battle for me. Line of Battle, obviously, you guys know, is going to be kind of my baby, what I really like playing. But for these smaller little battles, Blind Swords is a cool system. It's pretty easy. The rules are fairly straightforward. I'm not a huge fan of how the rules are organized, but they're not super long. Let's see here. Yeah, so the rules run about 19 pages or so. And I like the battles that they're choosing to represent at this point in the series. They're doing some of the smaller ones that might not get, might never be covered at the regimental scale otherwise. So these guys, every counter out here, these are regiments and batteries. Probably shouldn't zoom in because that probably just makes it blurry. I'm attempting to use the tripod here so that you're not all shaky and wobbly. We'll see how that ends up working out. I don't know how much I'm going to show you guys at the gameplay, but I kind of just wanted to update you with what I've been up to. I have a video in the works for the Line of Battle order system. I kind of had to outline out how I'm going to end up doing that because I really don't want to confuse people with it, and it's going to require a little bit more work. So I've had a lot of people ask me to do one, so I think maybe here within the next couple weeks, that's what we'll do. So Kernstown, what's this all about? So the battle, as I understand it, well, in this game, you get 2 battles. So you get the first battle, which is in 1862, and the second one, which was in 1864. This is the first battle of Kernstown, so this is the 1862. Most of the Confederate forces started down here. You'll see some of them have moved up here. That's Garnett's brigade and also Fulkerson's brigade. The Union kind of start here at Pritchard's Hill. They've moved over. They're in what's known as skirmish order, so they're spread out. I was hoping to maybe get them over to this crossroads to keep Garnett from advancing up onto the Sandy Ridge. I don't know a ton about this battle as it happened historically from my understanding. Stonewall Jackson ended up attacking, not really knowing that there was as big of a force in place here for the Union as they actually had. So he attacked, I think they actually, so the victory locations are sitting up here along that stone wall and kind of up here on Sandy Ridge. And I believe historically their goal was to flank this position on Pritchard's Hill. So in order to replicate that, the game makes these be the victory conditions. You got to get up here. So the way the victory conditions work in this game compared to some other regimental scale games, if you hold territory, you're going to accumulate victory points for every turn you're sitting on them. So with that, it's a fluid battle. If the Confederates hold Sandy Ridge, which they currently do, The Union next turn can say, okay, we got to try to pull those victory points. They're not going to get victory points for them, but they're going to keep the Confederates from accumulating them. So you'll notice the Union have, so they get 3 victory points every turn for holding Pritchard's Hill. So right now they're accumulating victory points, but the Confederates are likely going to start turning the tide there. The Union have Tyler's brigade arriving. I split them off into 2 sections actually. So these guys are going to hopefully move this way. These guys are going to move down the road and come in from this side. The first turn, I had hardly anybody moving. I think Garnett was the only brigade that's moving. These guys over here for the Union, Sullivan's brigade, he's an atrocious leader. I think he has a 1 rating. So when he gets pulled from the Chit Cup, which you just reach in here, so blah, blah, blah. If this would be Sullivan, which it's not, you'd have to roll a 1 on a d6 to activate him. So historically, according to what the designer notes say, is he was kind of under orders to hold that position. So in order to replicate that, his rating is awful. But yes, this is a chit pull game system. I don't know how much I want to talk about the rules or anything like that, but it makes it interesting solo, especially something this size. I can set it up, play through it fairly quick in a weekend. I think this is 18 turns maybe, but the turns go pretty quick here. And the chip pull adds kind of that level of, it's the fog of war. You know, you don't really know, you can't plan ahead, because if the Union get all their chip pulls first as the Confederate, that could kind of screw up your plans. You have to have that in a Civil War regimental system, in my opinion. If you're able to do everything that you want to do every single turn, it's just not right. So with this, you're rolling for activations. If people don't activate, they can only do certain things. The one thing I really, really like about this system is how you've got these brigade orders. So when a brigade activates, you tell them to do one of these 4 things. They're either attacking, defending, maneuvering, or regrouping. What they're doing determines how they act during their activation. So obviously if you're regrouping, here you can see infantry and cav actually don't have any movement points that they could spend. Can't fire, can't close combat, but they can recover and rebuild. That stuff I like. It's kind of hard for me to just jump into it after not playing it for a while and being like, okay, we're going to recover because I know exactly what that entails. We're going to defend because I know exactly what that entails. It definitely takes some time to internalize, okay, what can I do with each one of these things here? But once you get it down, it's pretty easy. Most of it's fairly self-explanatory. The other thing that I found myself trying to remember how it worked is the CRT here. It's a little bit different. You roll percentile dice, so you roll 21. Let's say you are bringing 10 strength points. You look on the 21 column as the unit that's taking the fire. What's his, basically his morale? Is it a cohesion? I think they call it cohesion in this. So if it's a 1 or a 2, then you got to go up here and you got to take a green cohesion test. You roll 2 die. This row is going, or this column is going to be, do you take like manpower losses, or it could represent straggling, whatever the case might be. You're going to reduce your SPs. This column is more of a morale result. So do you rout? Do you retreat back? Do you take morale hits? Do you become shaken or disordered? It works a little bit differently than what I'm used to. It's not to say it's a bad way of doing it, it's just different. But I do like it. It's quick, it's easy. I think right now I might be at the top of the 3rd turn, so Garnett's moved up here. I think I have to start with the artillery, so we can run through something real quick here. I think the Union always start with their artillery. So we could say, okay, Jenks. I probably want to leave Jenks sitting up here on this hill. He's kind of in a good position, sitting on top of Pritchard's Hill. He does have line of sight across here to Fulkerson. I think. Yeah. So they're on the same elevation. So you'd look at Jenks, you'd say, okay, he's got rifled cannon for strength at range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Range 7, we'd go over here. Sorry about that light and the glare. I'm not used to having these chandeliers. I bashed my head on this chandelier like 5 times. It's brutal. Rifled cannon, range 7. I think that's what I said I was at. So he's 100% effective. This I'm not a huge fan of. 50% of SPs, 25% of SPs. It's an easy way to do it, but you got to do math. And if you've had alcoholic beverages sometimes, then you got to remember how it round and blah, blah, blah. I'm lazy. So range 7, so he's going to be bringing all of his firepower, which is going to be 4 SPs. I don't think we're going to have any shifts on here. No, I'm pretty positive there's none. So we roll our percentile, an 11. That's the worst we can possibly do. So nothing would happen. That was basically a wasted shot. And then the Confederates would pick somebody, so then their artillery would do all theirs. The artillery does everything in the same phase. Then you go to the chip pull phase, where you got everything in here. You're pulling things out. That's how you activate your brigades. When you play solo, you're supposed to throw all these bad boys in there. Not all of them, but you as the player pick, oh, I want to use certain... These are kind of little quirks that throw in some uncertainty to the chit draws. And they're all listed out here. That's all good stuff to memorize. What I kind of do when I'm playing solo, just to speed things up, is I'll just look at it and be like, hey, it makes sense. They would probably hold on to this chit and use it here and just say I do it. That's the benefit of playing solo. You can kind of do what you want. Tweak it to how you want it to be. So, oh yeah, look at this little, I was going to talk about this. So this is my little Confederate command cup that I got at the Richmond battlefield in Kentucky. I would have got a Union one, but unfortunately there was literally nothing for any of the Union. It's all Confederates down there in Kentucky. So, but yeah, that's what I use as my chip pull cup. So, having a good time. Maybe I'll do something when I'm done. Probably not, because I'll just end up cleaning it up and putting it out. I am considering starting to work on an orders video. Did I just say that before? So we'll see if I end up doing that here within the next couple weeks. But that's just kind of an update with what I'm playing. Kernstown from Revolution Games. Enjoying it so far. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be interesting because no real combat started happening yet, and stuff's gonna get squirrely over here. So enjoy the weekend. We'll see if I can get this uploaded here. If my internet's terrible, I guess I'll be doing it on Monday. See ya.